It was something big, whatever was on that
was
line.
a big one.
Well,
He hit the boat.
did he go in?
Good thing, I don't know if he knocked himself out. Good thing we don't want to keep him
He
today.
hit the boat.
So Joyce, what are you going to do with the 3 shad we caught when we were shad fishing?
Well, first we had to clean them, scale them, gut them. Then they go in the oven at 250 for about 8 hours, and you'll check them. If the bones aren't soft in that time, you just let it go for like a half hour at a time until the bones soften. So what we got to do here, we have to remove the skin, which is real easy. It just comes off like that. And then there's like a blood line here. We'll take that. I will show you once we get going with it. And this is probably about 2 cups of the meat.
And it's good. We had some for lunch, so
It was real good.
Meat is good.
It's almost like salmon, canned salmon. That's what
Yeah,
I would call
like
the taste
that.
of it.
Right.
So for this recipe, you're going to need 4 cups of chopped spinach, 2 tablespoons of olive oil, of course the shad, which was about 2 cups of shad, 1/4 cup of very fine chopped carrots, 1/4 cup of very fine celery, 2 tablespoons of sweet red pepper chopped, 1/3 cup of milk, 1/4 cup of breadcrumbs. I'm using the panko breadcrumbs, 1 tablespoon of parsley, 1½ teaspoons of granulated garlic, 1 teaspoon of Old Bay, and I happen to find some Old Bay that's 30% less salt. And we need 1/2 teaspoon of the Tony's Satcheries no salt spice, 1/4 cup of mayonnaise, 1 tablespoon of butter, 2 tablespoons of oil, and we need balsamic vinegar. Well, before you start, you're going to take your milk and pour it in your bowl, and take your 1/4 cup of the breadcrumbs. And you just let them soak in the milk till they soften. Just set them aside. And next we're going to clean up the fish. So first you're going to peel the skin off. Comes off fairly easy. Good.
So what'd you cook those fish in? You cook in this fish cooker, right?
Yeah, we cooked it in this cooker. It has a tray in there, and I put water in it till it came up to the top of these slots in here. And then put the fish in there, cut slits, and each slit I put a piece of butter in there, and then flipped it over and did the same on the other side. And then lots of Old Bay, lots of garlic powder. And that's all I did with it. And then drizzled a little bit of once it was in here, I drizzled a little bit of olive oil on it, put the lid on it, put it in the oven 250, and baked for it bakes about a good 8 hours. Sometimes it takes longer depending on the size of the fish.
And if you don't have a fish cooker?
If you don't have a fish cooker, you get a nice deep, about a 2-inch deep pan, and put the fish in there. If you don't want to make a mess and line it with foil, but you don't have to, then you'll put that pan on top foil and make like a tent, and you just seal it up real good into the foil, and it'll bake the same way. In fact, the foil actually cooked a little quicker than this thing when we did both. Okay, so you just keep scraping the fish, get that dark out of there. Some people might like that. We don't like the dark.
Yeah, we usually bleed our fish, and we forgot to bleed these.
Yes, we forgot to bleed
Because we were letting some go, we were keeping some, because
well, we caught a lot of these
we caught
things.
quite a few of them, and we didn't have the time to mess with them.
And we didn't have room in the bait freezer.
Right, so somebody else can catch the other ones now.
Yes. So that's that piece. And you're going to just take it up and crumble it up like that. There's the backbone.
Here's the bone. Show them the bones.
Here's the bone.
Interesting.
That's
and
the backbone.
Just squeeze it. Yeah, she just ate that bone.
Just ate the bone. It's really good.
It's like when you cook them like that, it's like a big sardine. Or like you said, what's a canned salmon?
Canned salmon has the same thing. It has the bones in there. I'm just trying to find the other bones, the thin bones. They're in here somewhere. And sometimes you'll get that. You want to take that out. But you just break it. Here's the bones here. Here's a bone.
There's a lot of bones in
shad. Right, there's a tremendous amount of bone. And you'll just like, don't even know it's a bone. You just eat them. And you keep doing that till you get it all cleaned up. And when you clean them, of course you have to scale them. And we cut the belly out. Some people leave that in there because there is some meat on there, but I don't like the belly. So we cut that out. I cut the tail off, and of course you cut the head off.
There's a big bone.
There's a big bone in here. If you don't want the bone, don't put it in there, but there's that bloodline that comes in there. You just get rid of that. And then there's this, whatever this is. I don't like that either. But that's the big old backbone. That was the biggest one we caught.
Yeah.
But it just crumbles up. Just
yeah.
goes away. And there's no...
You don't even know it's there when you're eating it.
No. And it's really good. And it's good for you. The last time I cooked them, I put onions and carrots and in with the fish. And I tried something different this time and just made it plain, which my opinion, I like it better with just the fish and the Old Bay and the seasoning in there, and without the onions and the carrots and the celery. And that one's good. We can just take this whole, that's a nice hunk of meat.
Yeah, nice hunk of shad.
There's that bone again, just goes away. Just disintegrates. Yeah. There, that's about, I'd give this a little over 2 cups. But that's a good two cups of meat. Your meat's all ready. So now you're going to add your spices. The celery. Carrots. The sweet red peppers. The mayonnaise. And your breadcrumbs. See how they got all mushy? Okay, you got it all mixed up. Now you're going to put that in your bowl. Now you're just going to mix it all up in there. You just get in there with your hands. It works a lot better.
Probably a lot of fish oil is good for your skin too.
Yeah. It's coming together really nice. All that color, the orange and the red. Looks good. What I'm going to do is taste it. It's already cooked because we're using the I found the Old Bay with 30% less salt. So I want to make sure there is enough salt in here. So good. But you want the meat to look what it's going to look like. It'll form a nice cake or patty. So now we're going to form the patties. Well, next you're going to saute the spinach. So you're going to use 2 tablespoons of oil. Put your tablespoon of butter in there. Put your spinach in. Sprinkle a little bit of garlic in there. A little bit of pepper. Just gonna mix this around in here. Spinach is weird. It's like a whole bunch. Fills the whole pan, and it'll just break down to almost nothing. Just sprinkle just a little bit of salt there. Okay, that's about how you want your spinach. Take that off, set that aside. Okay, next we're going to make the shad cakes or patties. Just like a hamburger patty. I like that. Pat it down. And let's just sprinkle some breadcrumbs in here. And just pat that down on that. Shape it back up. That's Sam's one. He has a big one.
Oh boy. Yeah, these shad are pretty good. They're kind of underrated.
Now look how nice it makes. It makes into a nice patty.
Mm-hmm.
You can make them smaller, bigger, like that. Now we're going to fry the shad patties and put about maybe 3 tablespoons of oil if you got the non-stick frying pans. Just roll it around in there so you get even. Almost ready. We'll freeze 2 of them and just cook 2 for our dinner tonight. That way we get home late sometimes. I can just take these out of the freezer and we got a meal.
That's good.
The oil's ready. I'll cook them for about a minute on each side. And see what it looks like if it's browning. Okay, what I'm going to do is check these real quick. Yep, it's ready to flip. They'll cook more than a minute, but I like to just flip them a couple times because breadcrumbs tend to burn. Turn this down a little bit. And we'll give that side about 2 minutes. We turn through.
Smell good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they smell good.
Okay, while they're cooking, what you'll do is take your plates and take your spinach and just set that. Just check this side. Flip it over. And give it that other minute on that side. What you want to do is just a nice brown, lightly brown coating on there with the breadcrumbs. You just gotta watch because they burn. If too hot, they will burn really bad. Do a little more. It's a little bit browner than that on that side. Get it just a little dark. That's what you want. So we'll give it a couple more seconds on that side. It'll be nice and hot in the middle. Okay, they are done. We're going to just set that right on the spinach. And what I want to do with the fish cakes is just drizzle a little bit of balsamic vinegar. Let it soak in there.
Well, Joyce, these shad cakes really look good, and they smell good when you're cooking them. And you did a good job of those potatoes. And also today, we got a nice homemade cake Joyce made. So that's kind of our birthday cakes. Even though we celebrated in Biloxi, we're going to celebrate our birthdays in Biloxi. But you made a cake anyway, because our birthdays fall 5 days apart. So what do you got here with these shad cakes?
Well, we got sauteed spinach, and we put the shad cakes on top of it. And we got mashed potatoes with Parmesan and garlic.
And we
of course,
got homemade tartar sauce.
Yeah.
It's pretty simple. Everybody wants to know how you make it, but the secret's your homemade relish.
Right.
So that's what makes it good. So you're going to try?
Yeah, we'll see what they taste like.
You gotta taste good, because we already had some of the shad.
Very good.
Even better in the plain shad?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's gonna be good.
And the panko breadcrumbs give it that nice crunch.
Okay. Well, if you enjoy our videos, we'd appreciate a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. And thanks a lot for watching.